She was the first female presiding judge in the then 150-year history of the Los Angeles Superior Court. It wasn't just that she was a woman and she was taking on the mantle of the PJ, it was that Lee Edmon was becoming the first woman PJ. She's such a dynamic, impressive, warm, smart, hardworking, and caring human being. It was a time where the judiciary in California was experiencing unprecedented budget cuts. Not only was Lee leading the group of judges and the whole court really, but she used to keep a packed carry-on suitcase in her chambers because she was called to fly up to Sacramento and to San Francisco with little to no notice with such frequency that she just had her go bag, as I think as they call it.
I met Justice Edmon back in 2012 when we were both presiding judges of our respective trial courts. It was the time of a recession, right? There were tremendous financial difficulties for the state as a whole and the branch. I watched her and learned a lot about politics, but also learned about how to work with and collaborate with people in pretty dire times. It was great to have her and our other colleagues in that time who we could really bounce ideas off. I was chair of the trial court budget funding or advisory committee, and she was still on that committee, and we worked with other presiding judges and CEOs throughout the state to develop a new funding model for the trial courts, one that was, in our opinion, more equitable and based on the workload that came into your court. She was just such a collaborator and willing to look at the greater good on what it means to the trial courts as a whole.
I have a rather unique perspective to talk about diversity in the branch, having been Governor Newsom's Judicial Appointment Secretary. And what I started to realize is the pool was not as deep or diverse, diversity in all of its stripes, in terms of women, in terms of practice areas, in terms of people who don't perceive themselves as political but are talented, and that there had and needed to be a way to reach those people, to broaden the pool, so that the governor would have a wider variety of individuals to choose from. At a very basic level, have to form credibility bonds with the institutions that form our government. I think that applies wholesale to the bench, that the concept was to match sitting judges with applicants. She rose to the top of the list in terms of people that we wanted to gather in a room to try to flesh this program out. She has such an august reputation in the bar and in the branch. And so when you think about a package of skills that you want an individual to have to be in a room to build a program from the ground up, she's one of the first persons that you think about.
So the two of us together formed the appellate component of the mentorship program. I think we've had over 50 people that this program, the appellate level, has mentored. I think she is the reason why the program is a success. She encourages that everyone should have a seat at the table. Everyone. Those who agree with me, those who disagree with me, those who look like me, those who don't look like me. But we're all seated at the table and we're all treated equally. And that's what we hope our judiciary will reflect.
I think for me and for other women who either are in court leadership or are thinking about getting into court leadership, Lee is sort of our beacon. She's the person that we can point to and say, I think I can do this.